Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to another episode of the Welch Report with me, your host, Jean-Luc Welch. Make some noise, clap it up, get excited wherever you are. We are back with another action-packed episode for you today, covering the world of sports all around the globe. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. We have, ironically enough, a very short episode today. I haven't gotten to cover keep up with nearly as much stuff as I wanted to. Had some events going on, had some family stuff going through. We've had a wedding in the family, had to travel up and essentially help make sure everything went all smoothly. But now we're here, now we're back, and I'm gonna talk about as much as I can. We're still gonna give you the best show possible. However, we're all gonna cut it short. We ain't gonna be what we normally are, going an hour or hour, 32 hours plus. We're gonna try to keep it as concise as possible. Because frankly, shoot, I only got really one concrete topic I can talk about today that I was able to keep up with over the course of this weekend, because I have been running around ragged trying to make sure everything has gone smoothly. Oh yes, indeed, catching up with family, saying hi, howdy do to all the people, both old and new, that we now have joining us. So hey, we excited. We are, but my gosh, I'm tired. Shoot, my goodness, oh Lord, it was great. I'm happy to be a part of it, but my goodness, woo, I slept like a rock. I couldn't keep up with nearly as much of the sports information as I want to. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be relying on you all for some help as we go through the show. I'm not even gonna front, but from the standpoint of help making this show as impactful as it can be, not because I'm lazy, but because we're trying to do what we can do. But again, look, the main topic of today, we got to talk about the war, the utter, blown away type of fight that I ain't seen since what, the 1990s, 1980s. Literally, looked like Nigel Benn and Chris Eubanks. They didn't miss a beat at this point, because their son could just continue the war, and it was flat out phenomenal. It was flat out incredible. So we're gonna talk about that right now, and appreciate you for tuning in. If you haven't already, leave a like on the stream, comment your thoughts and opinions on whatever you want to discuss on the day. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share the show with everybody that you know, so we can keep on building up this empire together. We're available on every podcasting platform imaginable, so trust and believe. If you want to listen to me in your car, on your job, with friends and family, don't matter where, let me tell you something, everything's better when you're joining with the empire right here on YouTube and every podcasting platform imaginable with the Welch Report. But again, without further ado, we ain't gonna waste no time. We got stuff to talk about. We got fights to discuss more than anything. One big fight to discuss more than anything. With all that being said, hey, since we're talking about boxing, now it's time to step into the ring. Yes, sir. Ring the bell. Let's get it started. Round one of the show. And it might just be the only round of this show, because again, like I said, I got to keep this short. Sadly, for today's episode, we'll go a lot longer on on Thursday. We're going to try to keep it as concise as can be. Before I even get to the topic, let's see who people have joined in. Rusty Cage, what's good with you? Thanks for tuning in to the show. Appreciate you and your presence here on the show today. Salute. What a war. Salute to you. And what a war it was. Absolutely. The injury reminded me of WWE Stone Cold. Was pure electricity. It was sublime. And let's jump into the fight right now. No, wrong button. There we go, shall we? And Eubank beats Benn in an outright, literally a knockdown, drag-out brawl. This was everything that we hoped a blood feud would be when it comes to two of the best of a past era, continuing their rivalry through their sons. And it lived to every imaginable type of hype. Every single thing I hyped up this fight to be, it blew it out the water. From the get-up, these people were throwing haymakers. Conor Benn was literally throwing big shots all night long. Eubank Jr. was a brother who was originally using his length, boxing, using his jab, and then inevitably the fight just evolved into both fighters just slugging it out. I mean, just evil intentions at every single shot that was thrown. Essentially no regard for human life, in the words of the great Kevin Harlan. NBA commentator, you couldn't ask for a better war. You couldn't ask for a better war. This was as close as we can get to, you know how we talk about the fights of Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran, and that whole era of the four kings of boxing. When we go through the annals of history, we talk about people like George Walcox, even Pernell Whitaker, James Toney, and the Iran Barkley. These types of names that are synonymous with legitimate, not just action and not just skill, but it's almost, it's a different atmosphere from the standpoint of what their fights were like, how much they rallied the people. You got engaged. You were drawn in more than just, oh, I'm witnessing a fight that, okay, yeah, I want to see what's going on. You were seeing a story. You were seeing history. We were watching literally decades and decades of history, respectively, with each family. Again, meeting each other in the ring. And again, having a point to prove. Having a mindset to say this goes through us. And we have a legacy to keep up. It's almost like it was almost as if you could see while both of their dads, Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank Jr., were outside of the ring, you could almost see them in the ring with both Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. literally almost fighting side by side. From the standpoint of the atmosphere, the crowd, the legitimate disdain, but also respect that you saw garnered as the fight went on. It was like gladiators being in the ring, pushed by their fathers, not in a negative way, but in a positive way, to say, continue what we've started. And look, we were talking about this fight. We didn't know what type of Eubanks or Conor Benn we were going to expect. We talked about the drugs. We talked about Eubanks getting knocked out, evolving, going to a different trainer, going to another trainer, not getting bowbacks, and now having to go to a third trainer. And we didn't know which Eubanks we would get stylistically, and we didn't know what type of fighter we would get from a power standpoint from Conor Benn, because without the steroids, the man has never been the same. He just hasn't. But now, brother, my gosh, I dare say we saw the best that we could of each individual fighter from the standpoint of as much of a complete package as possible. Both of them showed it. Yes, it wasn't nearly as pretty. Yes, it wasn't, technically, slick and agile and, everything's all flashy and pinpoint. It wasn't. That's not bad. What we were looking for was the authenticity. Many times specifically with me, many times when I talk about boxers and needing to get that extra oomph, or we need to see something, it's not about just, we need to see you improve. We need to see you accept and be able to fight in who you actually are. Biggest thing that we had with Anthony Joshua, that was the problem. He kept fighting outside of what we knew he was as a fighter. Deontay Wilder now, he's fighting outside of what we know Wilder was as a fighter. This is what I was scared of for both Benn and Eubanks. Beyond just the technical stuff, it was as a fighter, can you still be who you are at your core that shows up in the ring? And sometimes we don't see that. This time we did. We saw it all. We saw the heart. We saw the grit. We saw the intensity. We saw the will. We saw the want to win. We saw the drive, the hunger. They fought as if not just that they were rivals of each other. They fought as if this was it. Chris Eubanks and Conor Benn, they fought as if this was the last hurrah. They fought like, in the words of Apollo Creed, there is no tomorrow. They didn't leave a thing on the table. They legitimately went and fought as if this was the last fight I ever had, then I'll be completely okay. If this is the last thing that I do, then I will be happy with what I put on display. It was so much of a legitimate, you like when you were watching the fight, you almost got a sense of wonder, awe. You couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. The shots that Conor Benn was taking and still staying up. The shots that Chris Eubank was taking. And ironically enough, I didn't think that Conor Benn had the power because off of steroids to be able to actually hurt the likes of Chris Eubanks Jr., let alone potentially be close to being like, oh shoot, he might be able to knock him out. But he did that multiple times in this fight. Yes, fatigue did play a factor, but still, he had him rocked. Chris Eubanks, with his, again, like I said, slick counter, his ability to use that uppercut and that straight right came out to work wonders in this fight, but still, Conor Benn persisted. It was Conor Benn's aggression, his explosiveness, his speed, which we talked about was going to be one of the biggest reasons as to why he could win this fight. That was one of the first, or that was one of the main reasons that he was, in my opinion, winning the first half of the fight, at least when I was scoring. And then second half, we saw Eubanks then answer in kind. And that's when what was already a great night in terms of a fight turned into the war that we were waiting on. After round 5, though it was already action-packed, that will to win kicked in for both of them. Because Eubanks then said, I'm going to play the game that you play. And Eubanks also used his size, very heavily so, second half of the fight. And again, came in overweight. 61.9 pounds at one point. Came in again, it was 60.05. Just made some mark losing his money. Didn't use that weight after rehydration to say, okay, you are the smaller man. If you're Conor Benn, I'm going to use that against you. I'm going to swarm you. I'm going to maul you. I'm going to meet you before you meet me. I'm going to punch you off of me and then follow you out. And then I'm going to keep on laying the aggression, not smother my work, which was incredibly impressive when I was watching the fight. He was genuinely, in terms of Eubanks Jr., working in the pocket on the inside. Did it look sloppy? Yeah, because it was two bulls going at it with each other. But my gosh, was it effective? The combination punches, the multiple hooks that Eubanks would throw, the willingness to trade with Conor Benn and know that not only would his chin be able to take it, though again, he did get wobbled a couple of times in this fight, but it was his ability to be able to keep up with the motor of somebody like a Conor Benn that was so impressive. That's really what made this fight go to that extra gear, because Conor Benn was throwing heat all night long. Conor Benn was like he always does with his punches, sharp, crisp, incredibly quick. And Eubanks met him in kind and said, you're not the only one. And when he made that decision to essentially meet Eubanks where Eubanks' domain normally is, brother, this evolved into something special. Oh, this evolved into something special. This was, and again, Eubanks won by, I believe, was it unanimous decision or split decision? I can't remember. I think I might have voted down wrong. But either way, he won. And I feel it was the right decision. And I wholeheartedly feel that this fight was a one-round fight. This fight was a one-round fight. This fight was a one-round fight that would have essentially, ties would have been changed if Conor Benn had more power. That is genuinely the thing with this fight. Conor Benn was indeed landing in very well placed and hard shots on Eubanks. If Conor had the power that he did have when he was fighting on steroids, this could have been a different story. We could see Conor Benn getting the victory, because I guarantee you, with some of the shots that he was landing in this fight, it would have been a knockdown. If he had the power of old, if he had that level of pop in his game like he used to, there would have been at least one knockdown in this fight that would have counted for Conor Benn. I'm almost assured. Because there was some shots that I was like, man, he landed flush. He's catching Eubanks. He's beating him to the punch. He's countering him. And the only reason why he's not going down, not just because of the incredible toughness that we saw with Eubanks, but because genuinely this brother, he ain't got the same pop. He doesn't have the same oomph, the same crack. And if he had that crack, he would have been able to get at least a knockdown. Or even more severely hurt Eubanks to the point that, hey, that last rally that we saw Eubanks able to have might not have been able to come as fervently because there would have been even more damage. Because it would have been more weight behind his punches. That is really the biggest thing. Because it wasn't like Conor Benn did anything wrong in this fight in what was an incredible war. The shots that if he had more pop would have changed the tide of the fight, didn't. Because Eubanks in this situation was too big in terms to be able to be so rock steady. Yes, again, he did get rocked. He did get wobbled a little bit. We talk about fatigue and also legitimately all that damage over time, hey, took a toll. You saw the bruising, you saw the cuts, absolutely. But if Conor Benn had some more power, this fight could potentially have gone another way. But regardless of which, we watched one of the greatest fights this year. This is a fight of the year contender. Oh, there's no question about it. This is guaranteed to be a fight of the year contender. This is one of the best fights we witnessed shoot in a long time. In a long time. It had everything. It literally there was nothing that you did not have in this fight. You had drama. You had aggression. You had 12, Was it 10 rounds or 12 rounds? You had 12 rounds of full-blown action. Nobody blowing up. Fighting through fatigue. Willingly going through and showing different dimensions as the fight went on both ends of the spectrum. Digging deep after you got hurt. Going through and making yourself forced to change. Not backing away. Not just willing to sit back and rest on the good work that you've done. You had rocks. You had slips. You had counters. You had everything. You had defense. You had overwhelming offense. You had comebacks. You had situations where both fights would land at the same time and it affected each other. This was as close to a Rocky movie as you could get from the standpoint of a war. They did their legacy proud. They did their parents proud. They did their fathers proud. They did us proud. This fight exceeded every single expectation that I had in terms of what this war would be, what this type of fight would be. It really did. It was incredible. And I would genuinely say, I want a rematch. I want a rematch. I want a rematch, shoot, tomorrow, if I could, with this type of fight. My gosh, it was incredible. It was phenomenal. But let me see, we got people coming in the chat. Let's see what people have to say right now. Yo, Abdul Rahim, what's good with you? Thanks for tuning in to the show. Let's see, hi Welch, regarding your inquiry about boxing analysis, you possess extensive expertise in this area, offering comprehensive breakdowns, insightful commentary. Please explain your reason. Well, are you talking about my commentary for the fight? The commentary for the fight, well, I think I just went through it, but I'll go through it again. In summary, this was a battle of legitimate will and grit, with history backing both of these fighters to push themselves beyond the limit that even I thought they could go, from the standpoint of individually how they could fight. With all the doubts, all the drama, drugs and steroids were on Conor Benn's side. Eubanks getting knocked out and evolving his style, not necessarily seeing what works concretely, though he had knockouts in his last couple fights. Specifically in the last fight that he was in over Saudi Arabia, before this fight with Conor Benn. But even still, we had questions because that Liam Smith KO lingered in the mind of a lot of people, myself included. However, in this fight, We saw this brother go in and genuinely, both of them, not just Eubanks, both of them, show off the best aspects of their games. Eubanks with his speed and, Conor Benn with his speed and explosiveness, closing the distance and closing the gap, using his hand speed to throw combinations, attacking the body and head, able to take chances that other boxers couldn't take because of his speed against a very heavy-handed puncher in Chris Eubanks Jr. And having success and fighting through failure even when he started to get caught. Still, while on the ropes, able to still put up an incredible display of discipline, legitimate grit, as well as heart and a chin. Especially in those later rounds when that brother looked like he was going to get knocked out. But he stayed up and fought back. It was ridiculous. On Chris Eubank's side, he was able to, while being the slower fighter, use that check hook with his lead hand to catch and keep away Eubanks, making it have to work to get on the inside, coupled with that jab as well. And then when it came to when it devolved into a war, then it turned into, okay, Eubanks played the game that Conor Benn was going to play. If you're going to be uber aggressive, I'm going to try to match you as best as I can and use my weight and size to overwhelm you as time goes on. And that's what we saw. Conor Benn was still doing everything we know Conor Benn can do, from his aggression to his hooks to his power punches, all that stuff. But it was Eubanks that by the second half of the fight, you saw the momentum change. You saw the punches of Eubanks all of a sudden start to take a little bit more out of Conor Benn. You saw the effect start to be more substantial from the standpoint of, ooh, that was a good shot. Ooh, that was another good shot. Ooh, that was a slick uppercut. Ooh, that's another check hook. Now he's throwing 2 and 3 punch combinations. Now he's meeting Conor Benn in the middle instead of letting Conor Benn close the gap. Now he's pushing Conor Benn to the ropes. Now he's clinching up and leaning on him. Now he's forcing Conor Benn to have to work out of my presence. And let's not forget, really, this all really started after when Conor Benn punched on the break. You saw Eubanks have a little bit of a space of a facial expression of like, okay, that's what we're doing. All right, then. Now I know what type of fight this is. And he went and did exactly what he did. And it was an incredible display. I loved it. It was phenomenal. It was incredible. Chris Eubanks deserved to win. Absolutely. In an incredibly close, in my opinion, 1 round affair. At worst, 2 rounds separated these two. But it was an all-time classic. I love it. Oh, I really do love it. It's great. It's great. Let's see. Is your boxing expertise grounded in professional boxing experience? Is your boxing knowledge, extensive, world class? Demonstrates high level of boxing IQ. Have you done boxing before? Okay. That's what you were saying. My bad. Okay, so my knowledge honestly just comes from me watching. I think I told this story before. When I was a kid, loved fighting. I loved to play Fight Night Round 2. One of my favorite video games on the PS2. And nothing but haymakers. Just throwing everything left, right, and center. Got real good at it too. But I loved fighting, but I didn't know the sport of boxing. I knew Ali, of course. Everybody did. And I loved fighting in terms of like the concept of fighting. But I didn't really pay attention to the sport as much. Then as I grew up, got into it. And I think I've told this story before about how the layers of, again, got invited to a Floyd Mayweather fight against Pacquiao. That was my first big fight thing. And then from there, just started paying more attention. Then, around high school and college, started actually do some more research, learning about the sport, learning about the history, learning about the greats, the legends, listening and paying attention to essentially how this sport slowly evolved. And then I just started remembering stuff. And then just kept on building and compounding on that knowledge. Until over time, now, I'm at where I'm at. Coupled with, like I've said in other episodes, specific boxing events that kind of help like solidify, ooh, I love this. And this is where we are. And so, yeah, I would go on YouTube, look up people like Joe Louis, look up people like Sonny Liston, look up the history of, Tyson, how he came to be. I would go back and watch fights, like every fight of a fighter's career. I was working through Roy Jones's entire career so I can understand what made him so great. Tyson, going through his entire career from like the dingy recordings all the way until the first championship and going through all that to understand what made their career. George Foreman, watching young George full fights and old George full fights to understand what he was when he came into sport, how he evolved into what he became, which was a dominant force. And then in the second half of his career, starting from the first fight up until he won the championship, what he did to adapt to that new environment of being older, slower, but still having the qualities that can be incredibly demonstrative to anybody else around you. So essentially, long story short, I took time. I didn't have nobody really teaching me. I didn't have nobody really guiding me in my whole sports thing. I just took time because I wanted to know. And over time, it just kept on compounding. And now this is where I'm at. I know what I know. And now I listen to other people. I listen to Teddy Atlas. I listen to people like, hey, Showbiz the Adult. People like, maybe Boxing Ego, I think. A couple of them. I get opinions of people that know the sport more than I do. Whether I disagree or not about their point, so I can learn. And then, like the old saying goes, eat the meat, spit out the bones. What I feel like is appropriate, I take it, I harness it, I learn it and understand it, and I keep it. So I can be able to reiterate it back to you and also apply it to other situations as the sport continues to evolve. If I don't agree with it, I don't agree with it. But you take time to listen so you can understand what you don't know. Because I thank you so much for saying that I have all this knowledge. I do greatly appreciate it. But also understand, I am still learning. I am nowhere close to what some of these other boxing and just sports aficionados have in the sense of history. I'm still learning things new. I'm still learning new things. Mind you, I just learned recently. I just learned that what was his name? Carlos Monzon was not a Mexican fighter. He was an Argentinian fighter. And I've been calling him a Mexican fighter for literally my entire life. Putting him on that same threshold of the greatest Mexican fighters in history, like Julio Cesar Chavez, Salvador Sanchez, Canelo Alvarez right now, Juan Manuel Marquez. I was saying Carlos Monzon because it rolled off the tongue. Brother, I was completely wrong because he ain't from there. So, he's a great fighter, but he wasn't from there. So I'm getting schooled, but that's okay because when I do this, y'all teach me as much as hopefully I teach you. Because I don't know everything. I truly don't. I do my due diligence to present to you the best I can, what you deserve to hear. Because whether you agree with my point or not, my job ain't just to make you, laugh, which hopefully I am. Hey, hopefully you're having fun listening. But it's also to help you learn the best I can. Because if you are a more informed fan, you can be a more enthusiastic fan. Because if you don't know something and it interests you, it's exciting. But if you know something and it interests you, then it's enthralling. You see the difference? All of a sudden, you get a new level of respect, new level of fandom, a new level of outlook on the whole landscape of what you're witnessing. You can have more talks. You can have more debates. You can talk and interact with the rest of the fandom around you in an even better light, which helps better the sport as a whole because people know more. People have opinions based in what knowledge they can attain. And hey, my job here in the media, best I can, help you gain that knowledge. And so hopefully I'm doing a good job with that. Hopefully I am. If not, well, at least you're having a laugh at my expense. But again, that's how I came to be learning in a short, hopefully short, concise summary. How I got the knowledge that I got. Did research, listened to people that knew more than me, like Teddy Atlas, looked up stuff to understand the history, documentaries. Mind you, all of this I did by myself because boxing ain't big, where I'm from. I got some other family that love it. Like around my area, yeah, it's that. But I always loved it. So, if you're going to love it, learn it. So I just tried to learn it. Took a while, took some time, but slowly but surely building blocks of knowledge became the foundation of what I know now. And because I have no problem being wrong, I'm all for learning from you. If I don't know something and you know something, or you got some new brand of advice, you're here. That's why we have these conversations, so that we can have talks to be able to learn something new. And also just for some good debate. And to keep you around so you can get the watch time up. Oh, yeah. We're using you. It's all a con. That's what. Oh, boy. Oh, man. But no, that's how I did it. So it may not be as spectacular, but hopefully, if from the standpoint of grandiose. But yeah, I watched fights. I studied history, looked up on YouTube a lot, listened to podcasts of people that knew more than me, and took time out of my day to go and do research. And over time, I just kept on remembering until I am where I am now. And hopefully, I did a pretty good job. Hopefully. But again, like I said, we can do that to keep this show relatively shorter than normal. Not because I want to leave, but because I do have stuff I got to do. And I didn't get to watch a bunch of sports over the weekend. So I'm not as on the loop as I normally would be. Because again, had family wedding, everybody going up, meeting people, greeting people, all that stuff. Been preoccupied trying to make the moment special. I said, forget all the sports stuff. We trying to bond. We trying to vibe. We trying to connect. We don't get to see each other all that often. Cause, life is life. But so I'm playing catch up a little bit. So since that's the case, shoot, let's do what we do best and cheat by going to the championship rounds. Oh yeah, we cheating. We cheating out here. That's right. We're gonna cheat. We're gonna go straight to the championship rounds. We have 15 minutes. That is right. I gotta make it a definitive cutoff at 10:50. Not 10:50. Excuse me. At 10. Is it 10:10? At 10:10. We done. Anywhere in the middle of 10:10. We done. So we can make sure that we get out of it. But whatever you want to talk about, anything and everything in the world of sports, we can have right now. Basketball, football, boxing, more boxing. Whatever you want to talk about. We got right now, and we got until 10:10. So it's 12:51 right now. If you want to go, we can go. But I'm going to stay on here until then. After that, I'm gone. But while you're getting your questions together, understand, I can still talk about some more stuff. Like with one more thing about the Eubanks thing. I want a rematch. I'm excited for the rematch. They've already confirmed that fight will have a rematch. Almost assuredly, at least per Ring Magazine, I believe on Ring Magazine, on their social medias, they said that they're already in place to get a rematch set and done, which needs to happen. This fight is too good of a fight to not let it happen again. Because this is, they're, if they keep fighting like this, in the words of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, for my wrestling fans out there, shoot, brother, fight forever. If you're going to give us fights like this, every time y'all meet up, fight forever. This could be our modern day Gotti Ward if they had a trilogy. And I wouldn't have a problem with it at all. I wouldn't have a problem with it at all. Oh, gosh. Now, that does bring into question whether Eubank will be able to make weight again at this division. Because, as we know, or as we've seen, Bud was struggling the first time. Already got docked the pay cut because of, so that's a whole nother can of worms that we going to have to look into later on. But if that rematch, and I'm almost assured it will come to pass when it happens, brother, I am sitting in. If I can stream that rematch, brother, I'm doing it. If I'm available to stream that rematch, I will do it in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Oh gosh, because this fight, they. By the looks of this, brother, they're made for each other. They're made for each other. Oh, I want to see it again. But that's not the only event that we got. Remember, this is leading into May. Good gosh, it's almost May. That means, brother, it's Canelo week. Hey, hey. Oh, oh.
Hey, look at this. We got some problems here.
We got some problems. We got some problems. It's Canelo week. That's right. Well, it's not just Canelo week. It's Inouye week. It's Canelo week. It's T.O. Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia week. The whole slew of a good majority of some of the biggest names in this world are all fighting right here today. Not today. In May. Come next week. Sergeant, what's going on with it? How you doing? Appreciate you joining in on the show. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Thanks for tuning in. I'm sorry. Thank you for coming on. We are going to get off early today at 10:10 because I have things I got to do and I haven't gotten to make a full-blown show because I had because we had a whole wedding that we had to go to over the weekend, which phenomenal. But my gosh, I didn't get to do a doggone thing when it came to keeping up with the world of sports because we were all about family. So, disconnected outside of the Eubanks thing. I'm flying blind. If y'all got some news, you can tell me right now. Absolutely. I'm still going to give you a show. I'm still going to give you the works. I'm still going to give you everything I can give you. Absolutely. But now, this is literally make the show your own because y'all going to teach me. Y'all going to teach you're essentially going to be a live reaction for the next 10 minutes if anything breaks that I missed over the past weekend. Because as much as I again, to the best of our ability, I tried. But I couldn't keep up with nearly as much. So, if there's anything you want me to talk about that I haven't or that I don't know, tell it to me now. And I can give you my live reactions to whatever the news you're getting ready to say. And please, hopefully it's true. Because if it's false and I get made to look like a fool, oh my gosh, my word. Oh, it's going to be, I'm a quit. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just pack my stuff up and go. Oh, boy, because I can't trust y'all. I need y'all. We're supposed to be a support system. Doggone it. You can't be putting me out and look look like a fraud. Because I can't verify my sources because I don't know what's going on right now. But again, anything you want me to discuss, let me know. I can react to it because I've been learning it for the first time. And I can talk about it right now. Whether it's sports or whether it's basketball, boxing, or beyond. What was I going to talk about? This weekend, May, Canelo. All those fights are happening this week. We are set to have one of the most action-packed weekends in sports. Starting with Noy anyway, and I'm so excited to see it. And I can't wait to see it. And with Devin Haney versus Ramirez looked good. Yes, he did. That buddy looked jacked. I did get to see a glimpse of him as I was briefly scrolling through my social medias. He does look good, especially for his age. And also, what's up, Jay Riggs? How you doing? Thank you for tuning into the show. We appreciate it oh so much. Just a quick disclaimer. We're ending the show early today at 10:10 because I got stuff I have to do and I didn't get to prep a show. Let's be perfectly honest. Had a wedding I had to go to over the weekend. Put everything aside to try to spend time with the family, trying to catch up and be in the moment. So I don't know what's going on outside of Eubanks versus Conor Benn. That's the only thing I was able to make an effort to keep up with. But outside of that, whatever you inform me on, outside of this Ramirez news, it's gonna be news to me, so I can react to it live. But you got 8 minutes until 10:10. You tell me whatever you want to tell me, and I can give you quick, rapid-fire reactions to whatever's going on. But going on what you just said, Ramirez looks ripped. He looks good. He looks great. Now, question is, can he use that against Devin Haney? Will he be able to use that against Devin Haney? I am skeptical because I believe, if he's looking like this and he fights like he looks, oh shoot, Devin, you might be in trouble. But I'm having a sneaky suspicion that maybe as much as we know Ramirez is a threat, Haney may not struggle as much as we may be expecting him to, based on the history that we have with him and Ryan Garcia from the standpoint of that is fresh in the minds. He got beat and destroyed. Oh, Ramirez is a good fighter. He's a seasoned fighter. He's a former champion. I believe it's former champion. So yeah, he can get potential, give you the runaround. Oh, you better watch out. If there was any fight to have an upset in, it would be that fight. Or Rolly versus Ryan, which again, I still don't think is going to happen from the standpoint of that's going to be an upset. I think Rolly's going to get knocked out pretty easily, in my humble estimation. But still, though we know Haney's got the most to lose and is the biggest match from a matchup standpoint, is at the biggest risk, potentially, to lose. This is my humble estimation. I think as much as we've talked about that the struggles, the potential problems that Ramirez brings, the issues that could potentially make Haney go to sleep even before he ever fights Devin Haney again, might be that he may not struggle because of the speed and footwork that Haney's going to be able to have. Because I don't know, I have a suspicion that I don't think Ramirez may be able to keep up with Haney and his footwork. And Haney might be able to actually box his way to a win against Ramirez, though he can't do that against Devin Haney. But again, we can have more about a conversation on Thursday because I got to do what I got to do. But let's see. I love the war. Chris and Conor, Benn. It was so good. I don't want to see a rematch and mess up a great ending. See, it wouldn't be messing up a great ending because that rematch would be a continue. This was just about a 1-round affair. Or this was roughly 1 or 2 rounds off for Conor Benn getting a draw in or victory, depending on how you scored it. This fight, if it happened again, would be so incredible. This would, I would love it because it wouldn't rob us. It wouldn't be like, oh, this is a nice bow. Let's make it happen. Or we don't need to mess it up. Mind you, Chris Eubank Sr., I believe, beat Nigel Benn the first time. Or was it the second time? They fought once. It was great. They did it again. And then the outcome happened. Whichever way the outcome came in terms of which one was the loss for Nigel Benn and which one was the draw for Nigel Benn, they fought twice because it was so good the first time. This is one of those fights where, yeah, if they fought again, it wouldn't mess it up. It might be better. Because now, Conor Benn could make some adjustments that could turn the whole tide of the fight. If Chris can do the same thing and Conor adjust, and the next fight around is even better. And it could be just like with the old rematch that the fathers had, where it's a draw because all of a sudden Conor Benn retooled. And it turns to an even better war, regardless of which I want to see it. Because I'm telling you, this story, it ain't over. That's the beauty. The story ain't over because it was so good. You can have another chapter and it doesn't in any way, shape, or form hurt what we witnessed. It doesn't at all. If anything, it feeds into the legacy that both families have with each other inside of the ring. Because our dads did it, we gonna do it. We gonna potentially try to do it better. That's it's perfect. It writes itself, and the fight lived up to the hype. That's the thing. If it lived up once, we can all. It's like again, like Gotti Ward. I'm not comparing this rivalry to that, but in the standpoint of people want to see that fight again because of how good it was the first time. Then they want to see it again because of how good it was the second time. Shoot, they probably would want to see it again because of how good it was the third time. So this is when the people again fight forever. Like I said earlier, I would like to I'm like, yo, this fresh ink. It's fresh ink. It's fresh ink that we can write with right now. And I'd love to make it happen. It's for my personal thing. But listen, did you see Hogan and Bischoff teaser trailer? I did this morning. It popped up on my feed. I don't know what the word that was about. I don't know why. They're doing it. I have no clue. I was a little bit groggy, mind you, because I was trying to do my best to get some notes for this show. But my gosh, I saw it. It was a callback to what they used to do in the NWO, Hogan and Bischoff, cadence and everything. And I was like, okay, where is this leading? What are they doing? And why is Hogan about to get in the ring again? I don't know. So I'm still confused at what the world all of that was about. I was like, hey, that's cool. Because again, we've had our problems. We've had our problems, and still do with Hogan. But in terms of like the NWO, I'm like, oh shoot, are they going to a new company? Somebody, seemingly they're teasing bringing back a third man, so that could mean who knows what. Is Kevin Nash coming back? At this point, is Kevin Nash coming back? Shawn Michaels was a part of NWO at one point in time. Are they going to NXT? I don't know. It's so many different. Are they about to have a faction led by Hogan in NXT? Bringing young talent into an old NWO? Oh, shoot. My gosh. Are they starting their own promotion? I have no clue what it's about. Regardless of which, I'm interested. Yeah. Ooh. Oh. I just bit my tongue. Woo! Woo! Shoot. Oh, my gosh. I'm so sorry. I bit my tongue. Oh, that hurt. That hurt. Oh, shoot. Oh, gosh, that hurts. We're going to keep rocking, though. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, that stinks. Oh, gosh. We're going to keep rocking, though. We still got 5 minutes. 10-10. Wrapping it up. Getting ready to roll. As the old song used to say. Or packing up, getting ready to go. Whatever you want to talk about, questions or comments, we can do it right now. I'm here. Breaking news. Fundor versus Joe. Oh, wait a minute. Is it happening? Let me see. Hold on. Is this true? Tim Sue versus Sebastian Fundor. It's happening? My God, are you kidding me? Again? Oh, shoot. Let me look at it. Let me see. We got some time. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Hold on. Fundor versus... Hold on. Let me verify. Fun. Dora. Come on. Dang it. Shoot. This is why I wish I had time to prep. Because. Come on. Oh, shoot. So now, okay, so it's real. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, Fundor is back and he's facing Zoo next. Now, do you have a date? If you can find or post the date. Again, I'm flying blind right now. I'm scouring so I can pull it up for you. So everybody can see exactly all the news breaking. Cause I ain't even got to open up Twitter like I normally do. Cause we, like I said, it's been just family all week long. Let me see. Come on, pull it up. Pull it up, dang it. This stupid thing's lagging out. Since it's happening, Sebastian Fundor versus Tim Sue again. Wait, hold on. So he's not fighting Zayas. Wait a second. Dang it. Don't tell. Wait a minute. So he's not fighting Xander Zayas? I just thought if he's fighting Tim Sue again, he's not fighting Xander Zayas. Hold on. Let me see. What's the rest? That would be the end of Fundor if he agrees. Because he was losing to that cut. Yeah, see, I'm saying this is a chance for Tim Sue to get his revenge after what should have been a win if that cut didn't happen. I completely agree. But then let's see. Is it Just Do Boxing? What's good with you? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks so much for coming in onto the show. We appreciate it. I'm so sorry. We are sadly at the end because I had to make this short. If you haven't already, though, we are here every Tuesday and Thursday doing this at around 12 o'clock. Around 12 o'clock, covering the world of boxing and beyond. So please, if you are here and we don't get to talk about everything on this episode, come back on Thursday. Same channel, same place, same energy. So we can have all this stuff right now in full force to be able to discuss in more avid detail. But again, let me see. Peace to the host. Appreciate you, man. I'm glad that you're here, or woman, whoever you are that's joining in. Fundor vacated his WBO, so he's no longer fighting Xander Zayas. Shoot! Dang it! That's what I was afraid of. Dang it! That's what I was afraid of. That's why I didn't even look at the chat. That's why when he said it, And I was saying, oh, shoot, that meant he's not fighting the brother. Dang it, he's not fighting Zayas. Oh, I wanted to see that fight so bad. Ah, shoot, so he's not fighting Zayas. But Tim Tszyu rematches Xander Zayas. Going to fight the kid who just beat Charles Conor. Okay, all right, that's fine. Perfectly fine. As long as we see Zayas get the winner of Sebastian or Tszyu, I'll be happy. That's what I was waiting on. That was that's going to be where Zayas arrives fully. And I wanted that to be the case for Zayas versus Fundora. Because I thought he would have knocked out Fundora. Though he's, again, undersized. Or at least beat him clean. And I wanted to see that fight happen because I would be like, yeah, the brother's here. He's one of my favorite fighters to watch. So I hate that that's not happening. Shoot. Dang it. But either way, time goes on, and we'll have more time to discuss my whole reactions later on. But dang it, thank you so much for telling me all of this. This is great. Eubank, he was losing. I think he learned and will improve, though. He was. How much will he improve? That's the question. That's the question. If we're talking about Tim Tszyu, when he was losing to Sebastian before ultimately winning, how much will he improve? Because even in his last fight where he defended the title, I didn't see as much of a jump with being a champion that you would normally see with somebody who has the belt around their waist. What's it? You get 10% better with the championship, but your target becomes 30% bigger because everybody is now gunning for you and you alone. I didn't see that same level of improvement on Sebastian, though he got the job done, KO'd him in the same way, regardless of which. I'm not sold that he got better. I'm not, because he still reverts back to the same habits of going on the inside so much that it becomes a detrimental thing. Because when people can handle his height on the inside when they're infighting, he's in trouble. Again, like it was with Tim Tszyu. And so I need to see more before I can say he's really improved. While, again, earned the championship, is a champion, is still a bad brother. Yes. But I really think against those tops, I don't think he's going to, I wouldn't bank on him keeping this stuff for long. And my humble estimation. Let me see. Come on, Rusty. The only thing Fundora learned from that fight was the cut. But that's what I'm thinking. I didn't see a whole bunch. Let's see. Now Zayas is all risk, no reward. Not a huge payday for Zayas at the moment, and I hate that. He's so entertaining. He's so much fun to watch. I hate that he's not as big of a star that people don't want that, to the point that people don't want to take the risk because they know there's a good chance they can lose. And also not get a big payday from it. I hate that. The kingdom come. Because this brother is so good. I love him so much. I'm sorry. I'm a big fan of Zayas. I really am. Let's see. Saying Tim was winning looking like he was about to stop him. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. He was looking like he was about to stop him. He was looking dead to rights. With that straight, was it the straight right that he was using? As essentially a javelin that kept on knocking Fundora's head back all night long. Before the cut, he had landed like three back to back straight on Fundora's head, while Fundora was moving backwards because he couldn't handle the pressure. So no, it was bad. It was really bad. Oh, it was gonna be horrible. I remember. I believe I had done a prediction for that fight. I said Tszyu would have knocked out Fundora in 5, and he was well on his way to by round 2. And I hate the fact that he got cut because dang it. That hurt. Because, brother, it would have been a spear jab. That's what it was. Thank you. Spear jab. That's the connotation I was trying to say, spear jab. Some call it a bazooka jab, depending on what part of the country. I've heard it called many different things with many different people. So, I say spear jab, some say bazooka, regardless of which, strong punch that goes through, not just breaking the guard, but damaging the opponent. Tszyu had it, and Tszyu had Fundora. And if he didn't get cut, Tszyu would have knocked out Fundora. He would have knocked him out. I'm telling you, he would have knocked him out. And then we could potentially see Tszyu versus Crawford, hypothetically. And that would have been an interesting fight. Because who's to say that Crawford wouldn't have fought Tim Tszyu if Tim Tszyu was a champion by the time he had gotten the title? Or was he champion when he got the title? You know what? I'm thinking too quickly. I may have my information wrong. I may be getting my timelines mixed up. Who was champion when somebody moved up? My apologies. We're not going to push because I know I'm not about to draw straws and look like a bum. Because all of a sudden I'm all out of whack. Because like I said, I'm flying blind with this show. Listen, maybe boxers should start using elbow pads. Good gosh, no. Absolutely not. No. Don't do that. Again, Sebastian, that is a problem for Sebastian because Sebastian's 6'6" at 154. But that's like Michael Jordan. That literally he is the height of Michael Jordan, but 154 pounds. Fighting against people that are 5'8", 5'7", 5'9". That is a heavyweight height. That is the how tall is Wilder? Wilder is what? He's what? Deontay Wilder height. How tall is he, brother? Wilder is 6'7". Deontay Wilder is 6'7". Anthony Joshua is 6'6". That is like putting now not the physical muscular body, but the height of Anthony Joshua. Imagine Anthony Joshua at 154. Again, not talking about power, just frame from the standpoint of height. At 6'6", putting him at 154 pounds. Brother, that's what is such an anomaly? So you're doggone right he's going to have some elbows throwing because you're at his elbow. Like you're at his elbow. And we put this guard up too aggressively, but he could pop you. Like he could pop you like it's the UFC. Oh gosh. So yeah. So no, they don't need it. It's a sad circumstance of but he might look, I'll tell you what, he might is hold on, let me read actually no, I'll tell you what, with them elbows, doggone it, he might as well start being like Dusty Rhodes and just start dropping bionic elbows all night long. Oh people, shoot, might as well go into wrestling at this point. Because that can be your biggest weapon. Doggone. But I go, imagine Sebastian for doing winding it up like Dusty Rhodes and then going like that. And then you got a song in the background, America Dream. Oh shoot! Oh gosh, that one. Oh! If he walked out to that one day, I would never want him to lose the belt. If he came out to that gimmick, imagine polka dot shorts, polka dot boxing gloves, polka dot headband like Dusty, and he comes out to American Dream. Dusty Rhodes' theme song, brother. Oh my gosh, I would never want him to lose the title, cause and he goes, and his gimmick is he'll feign an elbow to get another punch. Like his signature punch is a fake illegal blow into an uppercut because you duck, because you think the uppercut, you think the elbow's coming, and then he comes up with the right hand. Oh shoot! Oh, that's funny. I'm sorry. I'm having too much fun. That is hilarious to me. My gosh, that cut still bothers Zoo like a mental state. Like Rocky was in the movie, looking at his flashbacks and face covered in blood. He keeps wiping his face, thinking he's cut on any punch. Yeah. Now I think that I'm sorry. I'm still laughing at Dutchy Rose thing. I think he's starting to get over that, as we saw in the last fight against who was the brother? What was he, 17-1 or maybe 17-3? Dang it, what was his name? The last fight that he got knocked out that he fought on Amazon Prime. I think he's starting to get past that. Now, we're gonna have to see, especially if it's against Fundora next, whether that actually happens. But regardless of which, I think there is some growth and confidence that's coming back. But the lingering effects, yeah, they are still there. It was very much apparent against Bakram Murtazali. Again, murder himself. Good gosh, that brother's scary. That brother, he's a killer, man. That brother, That's a bad dude. But in terms of getting over that mental state since Sebastian and since Bakram, now I think he's better than what he used to be. But if he faces against Sebastian Fedora again, we're gonna see if it really comes apparent as to whether or not he is indeed still has the mental scars, or if he is fully grown out of it and is now back to the Sue that we know would have beat Fedora in the first place. But we're gonna have to wait and see. That's a good idea. Rusty, I never thought, talking about different conversation, my bad. Sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. Let's see, 6% went behind the claws. He is, but Dusty Rose. Okay, yeah, okay. I'm glad you find it funny. and so, yeah. I forgot who he fought. But yeah, I'm glad you come out of the show. Yeah, I'm glad it's better. There still needs to be more building blocks to that. That's what Joey Spencer. Thank you. Yep. Joey Spencer. Thank you, Rusty Cage. You feel me? See, working together. We're gonna put this puzzle together. He fought against Joey Spencer roughly a month or two ago in his last fight. Knocked him out clean and looked confident doing it. It was a fight he was supposed to win, but it was a fight that he needed to win in a certain fashion. And he did it. He did it without hesitancy. He did it without worrying about the cut. And he did it akin to what he used to be. And that's what we were looking for. Again, Rusty Cage, you're right. Spencer was too small. Understandable. Sue could take his punches and Spencer could not take his once he started ramping up. But again, like I just said, the goal was you're supposed to win. We need to see if you can win in a specific fashion. Wasn't a fight that was supposed to be uber competitive. Though again, we respect everybody in the ring. But it was, he needed to be able to show that, yeah, I am growing out of the enclosed walls that is the flashbacks of that cut that I got. I'm going out of that cocoon and I'm becoming what I need to be. Again, mentally. And that's what that fight was for. He was going to win. But you even, imagine this. A kid loves to swim, but all of a sudden he nearly drowns. Now, you put him in a 2-foot pool. You know he can swim. You know he can stand up inside of the pool. But you need to see and make sure that he's got the confidence to know I'm going to be okay inside of this pool. Because it's something he is built for him to handle or her to handle. But you have to show that within the state, even if it's easy, you don't have the vestiges of the trauma that happened to you in the past. Because if you can't handle it in the 2-foot one, then as you scale up in the 3, 4, 5 foot deep pool, now we know you're going to panic and potentially somebody's going to have to save you. We ain't gonna say you're going to die. We don't want nobody dying. But somebody's going to have to save you. When it comes to that, that's what we're looking at with this fight. We have Sue in a built-to-win situation. And you need to show us, do what you're supposed to do. And do it the way that we know you can do it. Without any restraint. And he did just that. Or at least he did that to a better degree. Because some people may feel he was still struggling. Regardless of which, we saw growth. That's the biggest thing we were looking for. Thankfully. Let's see. I think that's about it though. Because it's 10:22. Oh, it's 1:22. Oh gosh, yeah. We gotta wrap it up. I'm so sorry. We gotta let's see. You see the Al Booger along with the Rusty Al Booger and Jay along with the Preacher that has the good scoop on boxing. Hey, look, man, we're working together. Like I said, we're a team. We, as much of a community as we are, we're a team. I'm a source, but at the same time, I am a fan. You all are fans, and you all can be a source. No question about it. If you give me a source, I verify it just to make sure it's true before I completely lose my mind. So that's why I was like, wait, hold on. Is that true? Let me just check it real quick to make sure. But if you broke it and it's real, my gosh. Hey, number one source of news comes from the comments, and we're happy about it. So yeah, but no, we all are in this whole thing together because we all trying to make sure everybody knows, hey, it's time to get excited. Because we love doing this. I love this. We love this. That's what we do right here on the Watch What. But again, we got to go. I'm so sorry. Here in Valero in Houston, that's all they talk about other than Astros and football. Hey, well, you know what? I'm glad I'm glad I can give you some more fodder to bring to the table to help in your conversation. We need a trivia game show. Hey, you know what? You know what? Hey, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea in the slightest. Hey now I might lose because while I may know a lot, trivia games I might just fail. I might just fail when put in that situation. Oh Lord, I'll be the host, so I don't potentially compromise my knowledgeable integrity. But because look, if y'all think I know stuff and all of a sudden I get every question wrong, oh Lord, my subscriber count go to the gutter in a heartbeat. You can't trust this brother. He's a fraud. That's what y'all gonna say. Oh boy. But no, it's good. We gotta go. We're out of here. I went a little overtime. I said 10. I said 110. It's 124. We gotta get out of here. We have to go. Sadly, we gotta end it, but we'll be back on Thursday to talk about in more detail all of this in next week. And hey, have more time to go really in depth with everything, not just in boxing, but also beyond, like with the NBA. My gosh, the Heat got trounced. Lakers about to get bounced. Celtics still looking dominant. And a bunch of stuff is moving in the ranks of who's going to go where once the season or once the whole playoffs is over and the offseason starts. Oh, we got some news that we're going to talk about, but we'll wait for that on Thursday. So with all that being said, this has been another episode of The Welch Report with me, Jean-Luc Welch. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to the show. Yes, sir. Leave a like on the stream before you leave, if you would. Comment your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, specifically the comment section. Help get the engagement up. Help get the people looking to see, hey, this is a great show. Y'all should tune in, and it helps the algorithm. Leave a like on the stream. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to join the empire, and share the show with everybody that you know so we can keep on building up this empire that we got together. And we're available on every podcasting platform imaginable. This episode will be uploaded either tonight and or tomorrow for anybody to listen to in your car, on your job, at your work, or just out in the lawn. Don't matter where. Get everybody involved. But I've been Jean-Luc Welch. Y'all have been wonderful. Peace and love. We are out of here. Yes, sir. And we gonna see y'all next week. Thursday. We gonna see y'all on Thursday.